Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to read about scientific management principles and techniques. Okay, so we will know what is scientific management, who practice scientific management, and how scientific management works, standards, techniques used for managerial purpose. Okay, so we already have known the principle of management, FAIRs. So in unit 2, principle of management is there of FAIR, and then the second is scientific management, who is being practiced by Frederick Winslow Taylor. So in short, he is known as Taylor. Taylor's principle of management is the scientific principle of management. Okay. So now first let's read about who Taylor is, how he find out scientific management theories and concept. So Frederick Winslow Taylor, he was born in 1856 and he demised in 1915. So he was born in Germantown, okay, and then he was from a middle class family. So he has weak eyesight, for which he was prevented from going to the engineering college by his father. So that is the reason that he began his career in 1870. Okay. Frederick Winslow Taylor began his career in 1870 as an apprentice in a small machinery shop in Philadelphia. Okay, he started his career at the year 1870 in Philadelphia as an apprentice. Okay, now he got employment in the first company, that is Midway Steel Company. He worked there from 1878 to 1889. Okay, got it? Midway Steel Company is the first company where he worked from 1878 to 1889, and he started first as a career as laborer. Okay, then eventually with his potential he rose to the position of chief draftsman, and finally at the age of 28 in this company he became the chief engineer. So his turning point was the Midway Steel Company. Okay, then again in 1989 he left the company. Second company he joined is Bethlehem Steel Company. So he became the chief engineer. Then he became the general manager. That means he was in the board of director position in Bethlehem Steel Company. Okay. So now in Bethlehem Steel Company, when he became the general manager, he joined the company in 1898 and he left the company in 1901. Why he left the company, do you know? In 1901, he find out that there are, some left out things that he need to find out, that is a scientific management. He did research on management, like there are some standardization techniques and principles you need to use to give optimum output at the cheapest cost. Okay, so this is for which he wrote and did research from 1901 and till 1915. He devoted himself to scientific management. Okay, so basically let me explain about what kind of the multiple choice questions that can come in exam is: who is Frederick Winslow Taylor? Options can come. So if the options come, you have to choose scientific management principle and technique was being practiced by Frederick Winslow Taylor. Okay, when he was born, 1856. When was Taylor born? 1841. And when was Taylor born? 1856. Okay, when Taylor died? 1925. Let me once again clear, but the dates are very confusing, you know. Yes, it is 1925. And when did Taylor demise? 1950. Now, how do you remember the date? You remember 10 years prior Taylor died, and 10 years after in 1925 Field died. That that anniversary you can remember that way. This man was a German man who was born in Germany. Now, Fayol was born in where? France, right? French industrialist, do you remember that? Okay, so this Taylor has more details here. That is his first company he joined in 1870. Okay, so in a small machinery. Then in 1878 he joined Middale Steel Company. He became the chief engineer here. Remember, chief engineer. Then Betterham Steel Company he joined in 1889 and he left in 1901 and he became what? General manager here. After that he devoted himself in writing about scientific management till he demised. Okay. Okay, now we have completed the who is Frederick Taylor, like Winslow Taylor, right? And what was his background. Now quickly let's understand what is scientific management. Scientific management is a process where the methods of standards, techniques, principles are used that can be applied to the man, materials, okay? And then it is also written down here that it helps in effectively utilizing the resources to produce goods and services. Whereas Taylor said that scientific management means knowing exactly what you want your man to do, okay, and then seeing that they do it in the best and the cheapest way. What do you mean by best and cheapest way? Best means effectively, cheapest way means optimum utilization of resources. That means resources are used in such a way that is being produced in less cost and also the scrap materials are reduced. That is optimum utilization. Or suppose if today I produce 100 chips, I will utilize the resources of raw materials in such a way that I can produce 200 to 150 chips within the same time frame with the help of same amount like numbers of laborers and also with the same raw materials. That is called optimum utilization of resources. Resources can be man, materials, machineries and different methods as well to produce goods and services. That is what Taylor Swift means when he came up with the term scientific management. Now, how scientific management works? Scientific management helps in examining variables in jobs. That means that if there is any variable in job or any different requirements or if there is loophole in the job, scientific management helps in examining those requirements and then developing methods. Okay, they develop methods to overcome those loopholes. Okay, then select capable workers. This means that your workers should be selected as per the skills required in the work. That means capable, skilled and experienced workers should be hired, or if you already have the workers, you need to do performance evaluation and find out which best suits for the work. Okay. Now last is to train the workers and help them understand the best method to use so that the productivity increases. That means all these four, let me write the last one, training. Okay. So these four comes with the conclusion. It helps in increase the productivity. It increases the productivity. That means the production of goods and services are increased effectively. That means the performance are given in a best possible way where resources are utilized properly and am giving a simple example here. I am the manager. I do service of banking. Okay. Now in banking services, I have to, a customer comes to me and says that I want to open an mutual fund. I will have to give each and every details of what mutual fund is, how to open a demat account, what are SIPs, what are lump sums, everything. I will have to give the details so that customer understands. That is called productivity, and I am wrapping that customer in 1 hour, and he has been convinced to buy mutual fund from you. That is productivity, and you need to find out what are the changes required to bring those kind of productivity, which will help in increasing the sales of the organization. Also, you can say service, right? Anyways, I am just giving just a example, that is to understand what is productivity exactly is, which will enable management, that this will enable the management to provide incentives to the right workers. That means scientific management also works as an HR department. That means it helps in finding out what are the performance of each and every candidates, and if the workers are working excellently, producing goods and services effectively, you need to provide rewards. So you as a right candidate can get rewards with the help of scientific management. Okay. Now, which would bring about other benefits. Other benefits is increasing the productivity, sales, right, profitability, goodwill of the company, good reviews from the customer. All other this package of benefits will be increased with the help of scientific management. If you utilize resources of human, material, yes, this also you can say machinery effectively, this all the process can be concluded with good productivity if you use scientific method. Okay. So now we are going to understand principle of management, that is scientific management. That is okay. So I have written down the principle of management now. Principle of management comes with science and not rule of thumb. What do you mean by not rule of thumb? Not rule of thumb means general approaches. So in scientific management, they believes in scientific approaches, which comes with method that consists of standardizations, principles and techniques that helps in the optimum utilization of man, material, labors, everything. Okay. So now science and not rule of thumb means that scientific Taylor has said and emphasized on adoption of scientific approaches that is based on actions rather than unscientific approaches. Okay. Harmony, not discord. Discord. I'm very sorry, discord. Which discord means that harmony emphasizes on to create harmony among the employees and the workers. That means while the workers are working, there should be a harmony and a unity of action. The action should be generalized and everybody should cooperate together to work that is being provided to them. That is, a plan is provided to work, right? A task is provided, so those tasks are being done properly by the workers in harmony and not discord. That means there should not be any violation. So this emphasizes attempts to create a unity of action rather than conflicts in the approaches. That means different opinions are not taken considered by the scientific approach. General interest is moving value. You remember fear also valued in general interest more than individual interest. That will come under corporation, not individualism. That means that fear believes in coordination and there should be a general interest rather than individualism. I have explained it in fear. Now Taylor also says the same thing. No one should only be focused on individual interest, like I have this interest so I am going to do this many tasks. No. General interest, like everybody is interested in this particular task and this is the opinion. Now you also have to get included so that coordination is maintained. For it you also have to provide motivation and a team spirit and unity among the team, that is the workers who are working for the same goal. Okay. Now maximum output in place of restricted output. That means suppose my overall goal provided to me by my manager is to produce 100 chips, because I am the production manager. 100 chips of packets that I have to produce. Today is the target. But I was an excellent employee and I actually find out a new kind of say working technique that helps me produce 200 chips packet that rather than the 100 packet. This is 100 packet. Now I have find out a possible way where 200 packets can be produced with the same amount of raw materials, with the same production process, within the same time frame. So which is we should consider rather than restricted output. There should be a dynamic process of always considering to produce maximum output. You should not always say that 100 outputs are provided told to me, I have produced only 100. If you can find a way to produce 200 or even 10 chips, 110 chips, that is also considered valid by scientific management approach. Okay. Now development of each man to the greatest of his capabilities. That means that each man, according to this principle should be provided the greatest possible extent of working environment. That is, if a man is capable, brainstorm him, provide him training, development, motivation, anything, so that he can bring the best out in the table for maximum result. Okay. Now, equitable division of work and responsibility between manager and labor. Equitable means equity, where fails is equity, right? Equal division of work to the subordinates, fails say. Here, scientific says that equal amount of division of works to managers and laborers. Now, suppose for example, the work of manager is to provide policy, plans, standardization techniques to execute the work. Who will execute the work? The laborers, right? So do not give them maximum authority for taking this to take the decision by the labor. Let it be done by the manager and let labor do his or her work. If there is changes, they think they are not comfortable, they can approach the manager and manager can take a decision. But overwhelming all the decisions should not be provided to the labor or even to the manager. It should be a balance for each and every work that is provided to each and every employee as per their skills. That will help to bring out the best and extent possible skills that they have. Okay. So now the last is mental revolution on the part of management and workers. Mental revolution means to evolve mentally. That means Fair also said one thing in principles of management. You remember, he said that mental health, physical health, skills, experience is required. Taylor also says the same thing in scientific management. That mental health is required for a good environment, so that workers are feeling wanted. That means the manager should provide an environment where workers feel that their life matters to the management department, their healthy lifestyle matters to the management department, their mental health matters to the management department, and then their family, their problems matters to the management department. When that kind of environment you provide to the workers, they work effectively and they use the best of their skills and knowledge to give the effective outcome and performance. Okay. Scientific management, whether it be scientific management or its Peale's principle of management, they only says the same thing. That is, that is to use optimum resources at minimum cost, and also to have a good coordinating team so that resources can be used properly and performance can be effectively increased, so that there is good productivity, that is the outcome, that is the goal can be achieved by an organization quickly, also effectively. That is the goal of scientific management and also FAIR's principle of management. How they come up with these principles? By research, by their experience, by working in those environments where they felt the need to make some changes in management. Okay, I hope you got these points. So these are very easy. You just need to understand the meaning of each and every sentence. Okay, if you know the whole sentence meaning, you can easily relate what exactly is this principle trying to portray. Okay, so this is it for today, and I will now in the next video will come with the content of characteristics of scientific management, advantages and disadvantages. Once this is complete, then the whole chapter 3 chapter 3, that is unit 2, principle of management of FAIR and scientific management of unit 2 will be finished in business studies. Then we will go to unit 3. Okay, so I am working very hard to give you all the informations. If anything that I might have left out, you can comment down below. I will ensure to make another video if you do not understand the terms of each and every word. Okay, so each and every word, each and every point matters to me, and if you do not understand, you will not be able to go further. That means once you clear your base, that is 12 and 11 class subjects management, you will be able to proceed further with vast knowledge in undergraduation and post-graduation. But you have to first clear the base. So ensure to clear the base. Ask your class teachers if they are not able to give you an overview. Of course they can, but if you are lacking behind also, please comment down below. I will explain each and everything again in details. Okay, so I hope you are liking my videos. If you like my videos, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.